Welcome to my summer recommendations. The first recommendation I have for you is Circus of the Dead by Kimberly Loth. This is about a young girl who goes to help her uncle on a mysterious island, and he currently works as a big cat tamer. When she goes and catches the ferry over to the island is shrouded in darkness and mystery, and doesn't look all that spectacular, but as soon as midnight hits, it becomes this spectacular vision, and there are people everywhere. She can sense magic in the air, and things start happening to her, and she has to try and work out the mystery of the island. I can't say too much because obviously it'll spoil it, but there is a darkness and an evil behind her being at the island, as her uncle doesn't even remember sending for her. There's also quite a romance-heavy theme to this book as well, and it was super intriguing. There are 4 main books and 10 side stories, and it is just this fantastic, really long series. I've currently read the 4 main books as well as 2 side stories, and absolutely loving it. They've all been 5 stars, and I can't see the rest being any different, so I would really highly recommend that series. My next recommendation is A Bad Boy Stole My Bra by Lauren Price. This is about a young girl called Riley, and in the middle of the night she finds her new very hot neighbour dangling out of his window, and what's more, he's clutching her tattiest bra in his hand. When bad boy Alec Wilde moves in next door, sparks fly. After their unconventional introduction, Riley is determined to get her own back. A nemesis is just the distraction she needs, because she's barely holding it inside, and throughout all the banter she actually starts to like him, and it's all about their romance and their journey through school. And I really fell in love with this. It was super quick, super easy to read, and the cover just screamed happiness to me. It's all about relationships, all about trust, and her actually opening up to what's been going on to her new neighbour. And I really, really, really love this book. My next recommendation is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This screams happiness to me. It's all about Nick and Charlie and them coming out to their friends and family, and them having to deal with a majority of issues throughout the series, as well as self-harm, mental health, and eating disorders. So just bear in mind with that before you start the series. And of course, this is the book series that the Netflix adaptation is based on, and I love both of them with my whole entire heart. The characters are just so adorable, and they immediately feel like family, which really makes me want to protect them from the world, and I just adore the both of them. There's also a lot of representation in here, as well as with the mental health, of course, the LGBTQIA+ community. If you could think of a representation, it'll be in Heartstopper. It's absolutely fantastic. You can read it for free online, but I prefer waiting for the physical graphic novels, and they are just absolutely adorable, and the artwork is stunning. The next recommendation I have for you is My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This is about a brother and sister that go on holiday together and happen to find a corpse in their rental house. Then she encounters this rude, crude bounty hunter on a motorcycle. He is after catching the killer and refuses to let her help, even though she has spent countless of hours listening to true crime. Not to mention that she's a teacher, so she's used to handling second graders, so little difficult humans. And I just loved both of the characters. Again, this is a kind of Grumpy Sunshine, kind of not. It all depends on what your perspective is. But both characters are absolutely hilarious. The banter is top tier, and this is my first ever book by Tessa Bailey, and hopefully it won't be the last. I'm looking forward to getting to the rest of her backlog and hope to do that over this summer. Next up is the Dragon Mountain series by Katie and Kevin DeSang. This is about a group of kids who go into this portal through this mountain and come across a bunch of dragons, and it's all about them basically becoming dragon riders, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's thoroughly whimsical and takes place over the summer as well. The Dragon's World is about to be taken over, and this is basically them helping to stop it and to stop it coming into their world. There is a wide array of characters in here, and all the different dragons have their own personalities, and I love the unique magic system, which comes in the form of pearls. And as soon as the kids hold the pearls, that's to do with their dragons, they get their own superpowers. And it is fantastic, so fun, and really made me laugh as well. I haven't quite finished the series, I'm only 2 books away from the end, so I'm thoroughly looking forward to getting to those 2 this month. My next recommendation is Butterfly Beach by Jacqueline Wilson. This is about Selma not being able to wait to go on holiday with her best friend forever, Tina, but a holiday with Tina means a holiday with her triplet sisters too. And it's not long before Selma's feeling like the odd one out. And with Selma, she tends to come across as a little bit of a bully to other kids, but tends to protect Tina, as Tina has a disability and basically is a lot shorter and a lot smaller than she should be, so things aren't working in her body as correctly as they should be. So again, you have the disability wreck here. My next recommendation for you is The Last Firefox and the First Shadow Dragon by Lee Newberry. This is currently a duology. I don't know if there's going to be any more in the series, but currently at the time of me filming this, it is a duology. And it's all about this little boy who goes to this castle and comes across a portal who another little boy comes out of it and hands him this little bundle of fur and asks him to look after it, and turns out to be the last firefox that is in the other little boy's world. Again, it's another little portal fantasy, and it is super cute. The boy tries to hide the last firefox away from his parents, which he currently has 2 dads. So you have the LGBTQIA plus representation there. And there is a creature from the other land that's currently after the last firefox. So it's all about this young boy having to protect him and their relationship as they bond. And as soon as he gets nervous or excited, the last firefox bursts into flames. So you can imagine the amount of chaos that brings, and it is absolutely hilarious and so heartwarming. And the second book really made me cry so much. Absolutely loved it. 5 stars, without a doubt would recommend. The next recommendation I have is The Game You Played by Annie Taylor. This is a self-pubbed book, and it's all about this woman's child that goes missing while he's playing with his boat in a little stream in a park. She turns her head for 2 seconds while the father's getting ice cream and he disappears. And it's all about the press release and her trying to find her son. But she starts getting letters with little nursery rhymes about little boy Blue. So it's all about the mother trying to find the son, doing her own investigation because she feels like the police aren't doing enough to find him. It is absolutely thrilling. I devoured this in one sitting over 2 days, and it is just absolutely fantastic. I love Annie Taylor's writing. She has done a load of other books. Please go check her out. She is absolutely amazing. The next recommendation I have for you is Bittersweet by Kimberly Loth. And of course, as you know now, Kimberly Loth is the author of Circus of the Dead, which was my first recommendation. And this is all about a young girl called Savannah Ray. The last thing she wants to do with her summer is to work all summer at an amusement park. But thanks to the conniving interests of her mother and her estranged uncle, that's exactly what she's going to be doing. And amusement parks were the only thing that her and her father shared before he passed away. So, of course, there's too many painful memories. So it's about her grieving and about getting over her fears and re-riding these amusement park rides. It is really heartwarming and is really, really emotional. So just be wary of that going in, but I promise you it is so worth it. This is a YA romance and I really, really loved this, really connected with it and devoured this really quickly. And of course, lastly, by no means least, is Room 13 by Robert Swindells. This is about a young teenager called Fliss who has nightmares about a summer vacation that she's going to take with her school. There's no room 13 in the Creepy Crow's Nest hotel that she's going to be staying at, but in her dreams there certainly is. And there is something sinister in room 13. Is it just in her dreams? Or is she actually predicting something that's going to happen at the hotel? At the stroke of midnight, a linen cupboard at the end of the corridor after room 12 suddenly becomes room 13. And there's also something happening to one of the school kids called Ellie Mae, and it's all about this book that takes place in Whitby, and you have amazing scenery that's explained during the book, and it just feels so atmospheric and perfect for weather like this. So I highly, highly recommend it. It is an old book, but it's not very well known to a lot of people on booktube at the moment. So if you can check it out, please do. It is one of my favourite books of all time. I read it when I was in school and thoroughly loved it, and still read it to this day quite regularly. And so, those are my 10 summer book recommendations. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Chat to me down below. What are your summer recommendations? Have you read any of these books? What did you think about them? Are any on your TBR? Let me know. And in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.